Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin Bubble News channel. In Bitcoin, right? You can say whether the system is working or not working. From what I can tell, the system works. It is the most successful way to handle money in the world's past. In 15 years, it went from nothing to $1.4 trillion. It looks like it will reach $14 trillion. It should go to $140 trillion, but it doesn't. I'm looking at it now. As it stands, it looks like the protocol could grow to the point where it makes up 5, 10, or 20% of the world's capital. Every country, company, and organization will get more freedom, sovereignty, and sound money because of it. We're going that way right now. So why would you want to get in the way of that? The acceptance of the spot Bitcoin ETFs was the most important event in this epoch. That pretty much meant crossing the gap, which meant that Bitcoin is not an asset class worth hundreds of billions of dollars, but one worth 10 to $100 trillion. That was a 10x to 100. Thanks for coming back to the channel, Crypto Family. Michael Saylor's told you about the possible futures for Bitcoin. Market cap of $100 trillion with a possible value of $10 trillion. And now we'll talk about some new Bitcoin news. Look at this picture of Bitcoin. The last week has been really dull. It was worth about $70,500 at its highest point. It got as low as 66.8. We're going to talk about some new news from this week, get some TA. Stay tuned for all of this information. To see how much Bitcoin the Hong Kong Bitcoin ETFs hold, go here, check this out. In the last 5 weeks, they have kept adding Bitcoin to their account. It dropped for a while, but over the past week, the amount of Bitcoin that these ETFs hold has been going up. It is now at $245 million. It's not a lot, but you can see that some people in Hong Kong want to keep these Bitcoin ETFs. Also, take a look at how many Bitcoin have been bought from us ETFs in the last 2 weeks. And think about this, a lot of money was going into these ETFs the week of May 13th. You can see right here that there were about 10,000 Bitcoins that week. That's a lot of good days, as you can see. More and more Bitcoin is going into these ETFs. It's great to see. I don't think this will slow down anytime soon since the CPI inflation rate was lower than expected. So when there is danger on assets, people tend to put more money into them. That is what Bitcoin has shown us. You should see how much Bitcoin has been bought up here in the last 2 weeks. For sure, this is a good sign for the future. After that, we'll look at Bitcoin and its technical side. As you can see, Bitcoin hit a high point of about 71,500 last week. A support level has been reached a few times at around 67,000. As of right now, the main number we're looking at for Bitcoin is around 67,000. At the moment, resistance is around $70,000. It's possible that Bitcoin will break out and try to reach its all-time high again if it can get back up to $70,000 by the start of next week. It will be possible for Bitcoin to go through that all-time high if we can break it. With Bitcoin, the price is really going to be discovered and it will go up. No one knows how high it could go from there. Then we'll talk about some news again. President Biden blocked a bill that would have let banks with a lot of rules cut Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So far, there has been some back and forth about whether President Biden is for or against crypto. You should know that Elizabeth Warren is trying to get the Democratic Party to form an army against crypto. Last week, both the House and the Senate passed the FIT-21 bill. But President Biden has been back and forth on it. It looks like he might not like crypto. He will lose votes because of this. A lot of people in Bitcoin and crypto are only going to vote for the president they think will help their wallets the most. Biden doesn't seem to support freedom either. This is not a good sign. Biden and the Democrats seem to be trying to hurt crypto and Bitcoin more than anything else. It does not make sense. The future will tell us what will happen. But it looks like President Biden is not at all for crypto right now. However, Donald Trump was found guilty last week. 34 of the 34 charges against him were found to be true. In the last few weeks, though, he came out and said, hey, like I love Bitcoin, Elizabeth Warren is not going to be able to get her hands on your Bitcoin. The army against crypto will fail. Remember that. Biden might be against crypto while Trump is in favor of it. We also know that RFK is running. He also supports Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. The most important news from last week was that the healthcare business Saylor Scientific bought 581 Bitcoin worth $40 million. They also made Bitcoin their main asset for keeping money in the bank. They did this because they saw how well MicroStrategy was doing. They feel like they were in the same situation. Now they are going to use MicroStrategy in their own unique way. This is very important. Going forward, more publicly traded companies in the US might do this. This is because as Bitcoin's popularity grows, so will the popularity of MicroStrategy and Saylor Scientific. Other companies will then look at this and think, hey, maybe we should adopt a Bitcoin standard. This isn't something that many publicly owned companies in the US do at the moment, but that could change with time. Just for fun. If you had used your $1,200 stimulus check to buy Bitcoin, it would now be worth $12,392, which is a 933% increase. That was an aid check we got in 2020. During that time, Bitcoin has definitely done very well. Another interesting fact is that the average price of a house in 2016 was $288,000 in US dollars in Bitcoin. That is about 664 Bitcoins. It was $628,000 in 2020. At the time, that was about 545 Bitcoin. The average home price now in 2024 is $434,000. 6.6 Bitcoin is about that much. What should you buy, a house or Bitcoin? It looks like Bitcoin will continue to do better than the home market. But that's all I had for today's show, guys. Just a quick one today. Please allow me to bring you up to speed. What kind of happened last week in the world of crypto and Bitcoin? It looks like it will happen in the next week or two. These ETFs could really bring in more money. That level of $70,000 could be broken by the price of Bitcoin, which would then go back up to its old all-time high. That's something that could happen. That might happen, but that's something to keep an eye on. However, please tell me what you folks thought about that in the space below. Hello, my name is Moji from Bitcoin Bubble. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.